Welcome back to more wild Reddit stories. Today I'm joined by Chance and Courtney. Welcome back, both of you. You both have been here at least like 3 times?
Twice?
I think twice or 3 times.
What the heck? Okay.
I like it.
So these stories today, the light theme here is like casual dating. It's a good theme. We've covered it on a lot of Reddit stories.
So it's less relationships.
Less relationships, more just like casual, like the early
First
parts
dates,
of dating.
getting
to know
Yeah,
people.
probably.
Just getting to know someone.
I haven't read them, but you know.
Great.
Which I'm kind of glad because relationship ones are often like they're intense.
And they're harder to relate to unless you've been in a lot of relationships.
Yeah. So this comes from Am I the Buttface, which is interesting because Am I the Asshole tends to ban any stories that focus on a relationship or dating.
I think it's because they want it to go to relationship advice. They try
Yeah,
to compare the-
there's specific subreddits for things.
Got
But
it.
Am I the Buttface was made to kind of circumnavigate that rule. But this got put on Am I the Devil, which is where
Oh shit. So
the worst of the worst end up.
Okay.
So this might be crazy. Am I the buttface for canceling a date but then going to the gym? So I, male, 23, matched with this girl who's 21 on Tinder about a week ago. We both wanted something casual for the summer. About 4 days ago, we made plans for tonight. I started feeling under the weather with a sore throat and nausea last night. I told her and we agreed to play it by ear. Today rolls around and around 2 p.m. our plans were for the evening around 7 to 8. I told her that I still wasn't feeling well and I didn't want to risk getting her sick. She was understanding about it. By 6, I was feeling a little better and my friend asked me to go to the gym with him. Thinking it was too late to rekindle our plans, I just decided to go with my friend without asking the girl if she still wanted to hang. I sent her a snap from my car and she asked where I was going. I told her I was going to the gym and she called me a dick and has removed me from all the apps. Whoa. Am I the buttface? Edit here. My friend was aware of how I felt earlier in the day and I wore a mask at the gym. I felt like I needed to clear that up because a lot of people are understandably angry that I could have infected people at the gym. Yeah, because initially I was like, you're the asshole for going to the gym when you're sick.
Yeah.
But keeping that aside, is he the asshole for canceling a date and then going to the gym?
I think no.
Yeah?
I think no, because you're meeting this person for the first time. You want to be on your best. You want to be on your game. And like, if I was feeling under the weather, I'd be like, well, I could work out, but like talking and socializing with someone is a whole different thing. And I don't want to be kissing them if I'm sick.
Right, it's this new person. They're probably comfortable being a little under the weather with their friend. And like, there are steps taken. And personally, sometimes when I'm feeling a little under the weather, working out, it can boost
Sweat
your
it out.
immune system.
Yep.
It can. I feel like it helps me sometimes. So, I feel like she might have overreacted a little bit.
I think, yeah, the general gist of it all, I agree with that. The issue is that I sent her a snap from my car.
Yeah, why are you doing
and
that?
she asked where I was going.
Yeah,
I
she
told her
didn't need to-
I told her I was going to the gym, and she called me a dick. Yeah, so from her perspective,
Yeah.
he tells her, I can't go, I'm feeling sick.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly, a couple hours before their date was supposed to happen, he sends her a snap. She receives a photo of him in a car with a buddy, being like, I'm going to the gym.
Yeah, he should have been like, I'm gonna go try to sweat it out. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
From his perspective, knowing all these details, we're like, no, you're not the asshole.
Yeah.
But from her perspective, absolutely.
Yeah, from her perspective, it's like, no, I'm gonna go hang with my bros and lift.
and it also should have been a conversation. It could have been like, oh, I thought you were sick.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
to
I'm
me,
sick, but yeah.
it still feels like they're not in a relationship.
Correct.
For me, I feel like this, like that extensive communication almost feels like OD, but with lack of context, I understand where she's coming from.
I think this early on, when you haven't gone on the first date yet, I'm like, what level of an asshole can you be for these types of things is like different, you know, than when you're in a relationship. Like, I less so feel that he's the asshole and more that he's the idiot.
Yeah,
I'm like, you're
100%.
stupid.
Yeah,
You're stupid.
the snap.
Just don't.
Hard agree.
Just don't message her.
Yeah.
Once you've already canceled, said you're sick, stick to that. Don't message her. It's so easy.
Or he should have known, like, when she said, "Where are you going?" Oh, she's probably upset because I canceled the date on her and now I'm going to the gym.
Yeah.
Now explain why you're going to the gym.
Yeah, be like, oh, I'm feeling a little better, so I'm gonna go to the gym really quick with my friend and then go home and sleep.
Yeah, she must have really liked him.
Yeah, because she planned a night for this. She set aside a day, and now he wasted her time. Is probably what she's thinking.
There's a couple. Yeah, there's a few times where he messed up because like for me, I would it would be nice to be like, oh, I'm actually feeling better. Do you want to hang out? But also it might be disrespectful, like flip-flopping plans on her.
Totally.
You know.
Someone said, you're the butt face. What part of your brain malfunctioned when you thought sending her a snap of you going to the gym?
Right.
I'd delete the hell out of you too.
He's like this.
Yeah, I do get her. I mean, look, overreaction. All we know is she's just like, you're a dick, and she just like unmatched him on everything.
Yeah.
Like, at the same time, when you haven't even gone on that first date, if something happens where you're just like, you know what, I'm done. That is the move.
And we don't know what her past has been. She could have been burnt before.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that for her. Maybe she didn't want to waste her time, and at 21, slay.
Yeah.
Someone said, you were too sick to go on a date, but not too sick to go to the gym, and you brag about it to the person you just last minute canceled on.
Yeah.
You're the butt face. Yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Don't post about it.
Yeah,
you know?
don't specifically message her about
Yeah.
it.
You're right. You're right.
Okay, moving on. That was a butt face. Whatever.
Butt face.
Am I the butt face for getting a waitress fired for messing up a date with a girl?
Oh. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna. Okay, let's.
Here we go. So I'm single and currently on multiple dating apps and casually dating multiple women. For the most part, I do my second dates with ladies at this awesome restaurant that I order takeout from time to time. I love this place because the food is great and cheap, and the drinks are cheap. I've been doing this for a few months now, and I notice this particular waiter gives me a weird look whenever I walk in with a new girl. I didn't think much of it at the time, so 2 Saturdays ago, I made reservations at the restaurant with this girl that I actually liked, and that waiter I mentioned earlier attended to us. So she walks up to the table and says, "Here again, huh? Ordering the same thing this time?" I was livid. I had told the girl the same line that I tell all of them. Looking to try this new spot. We should go. I had told the girl the same line that I tell all of them. Looking to try this new spot. We should go. Heard good things. The date was very awkward from then on. It goes without saying, this girl I actually liked and clicked with ghosted me. So I'm really angry at this point. So last week I visited the owner and explained the situation to him. He profusely apologized and promised me he would handle it. I found out today that she was let go. I'm not remorseful at all, but I'm just wondering, am I the butt face?
Go. Go.
You can go.
Oh! Now you go.
Okay. First of all, don't take people to the same place.
Yeah, you're good.
I think you need to be in a relationship when you start going to the same place. You don't take first dates. You just find out what they like, we both have in common. Where should I take them now based on what I've been talking to you about? Don't just funnel them into the same machine of dates that you've
It's weird.
created.
I do think that's weird.
Really weird.
It's super weird. I mean, I was kind of rooting for him at first. You're like, okay, is this waiter about to shame him about dating non-exclusively? And if he has a favorite restaurant, that's okay. But then saying it's cheap, it's easy, it's always the second date. It's you are a very manipulative person, I feel.
And the other thing is, tell them it's a place you like. Say, I really like this place. It has cheap drinks, it has cheap food. I'd be like, oh, you know it. It's tried and true. Let's go to it. Don't lie to her and say it's a new place you're trying to try. What does that get you?
And him being I lied to her that I said this. You do not value any of these women that you're dating if you are the line that I use. And then explain the situation. Huge red flag to me. I don't know what you told that owner, but I don't think it was true because that is not something.
To go out of your way to go there to talk to the owner to get someone fired, I just don't like. I'm like, that's not the response.
That's their living.
If anything, I understand going there by myself. What I would do if I was this guy and I was this asshole, I would go there on my own And I'd be like, can I sit in that section, please? And I would sit there, and the waitress would come by and be like, listen. Listen, I understand. I'm a douche. But, like, please, don't mess this up for me. You can see I've got a system. Like, please just don't. But this is the thing. The owner did fire this waitress for what she said. Now, owners fire people for stupid-ass reasons all the time. But it's that he had already told this woman looking to try this new spot.
Yeah.
We should.
And told it to all the women.
He told it to all of them. He also, I want to say something. We already know he's an asshole, but earlier on he did say, I made reservations at this restaurant with this girl that I actually liked.
Right.
And we know that he goes there a lot.
Yeah.
He goes there a
It's
lot.
not just like occasionally every other month or every few weeks. He's there like every week.
And well, he already like set the stage of like this waitress who gives me weird looks.
Yeah.
Like he's got an opinion. He already had an opinion.
The manager also did not have that waitress's back. You're a team.
Yeah.
You're working together. You should have her back. She should be able to stick. I don't know what the situation was, but she definitely shouldn't have been fired for just what.
Yeah.
I don't think she should have been fired.
That's
Definitely
why
not.
I don't. When he says I explained the situation.
No, you didn't.
That's like the way he worded that just like
Yeah.
gives me the ick because it's like I feel like he just absolutely ripped her to shreds unfairly.
Yeah, 100%. Because he lied. He's
a
embarrassed.
liar.
He's got embarrassed that he lied and he got caught.
And you know what makes me laugh?
Yeah.
Is like he's pretending this is his first time every time. So he's like,
Whoa.
Yeah.
What is this? Those are chicken
Oh
tenders.
my
Right.
gosh.
Oh, it's crazy.
What is a potato?
This is a Chili's.
And also, I'm gonna say it's cheap food and cheap drinks place. So it's not this upper high
True.
fine
BJ's.
dining.
It's
So it's,
It's BJ's.
oh, they said beaches. I was,
it's yeah. It is, but like you said, I think that the easiest fix to this is just being like, oh, there's a spot I love.
Yes.
Do you want to come? And that way the waitress says that, it's just like, yeah, dude, I come
Yeah.
here all the time.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like that's like really sweet to me because it's like, oh, you want me to be a part of something that is like you're passionate about. I love that, even though it's just food.
But I think for me, it really comes down to like, if you lie, you're gonna eventually get caught.
Yeah, and also like, yeah, you're lying to all the women you're dating. You definitely lied to the store owner.
and like even anything that she would say to make him feel comfortable, to make him feel like he has been there before, it would blow his cover. She'd be like, "Hi, how are you?" Like
He's
that
mad
already.
he got caught.
He's mad that he got caught. So actually, yeah, she didn't say anything wrong.
And if he was thinking ahead, and maybe I'm wrong for this, but like if he was cool to her and he was a regular and he embraced that I feel like helps his game because
Boom.
all the wait staff is like, oh, you're so sick.
100%.
We love you, and then it's like, oh, you're sick. You're cool to wait staff. That's a huge green
yeah,
flag.
and-
Boom.
yeah, 100%. You're right.
All right, there's some comments here.
Okay.
Once again, for the back row, if someone telling the truth about you makes you look bad, it's not the truth teller who is the problem, it's your behavior. Yeah, I agree with that.
You're right.
She's not going to think you're adventurous for trying one new restaurant, bro.
Yeah.
Whoa,
yeah.
this place is crazy. What do you think TGIF stands for? You're the butt face. You're gross for every single step of this. Stop being a liar, stop using women, and stop destroying people's livelihoods because your pee-pee is sad. Yeah, I mean,
fair.
I think the reaction of getting someone fired for that is just so overboard.
100%. She shouldn't have been fired.
You only should fire. I can't imagine.
At
it would
worst,
have
a
to be
write-up.
horrible.
How long has
Yeah.
she worked there too? You know,
Right.
we
Crazy.
don't know.
All right, here we go. Am I the asshole for asking my ex-boyfriend to be my best man? Ex-boyfriend's in quotations, so I don't know what that means.
Okay.
Near the end of the year, I'm a 27-year-old male going to be marrying the love of my life, a 30-year-old woman. We have been together for 4 years now, and since I popped the question, we've been busy planning. One of the first things we decided was our bridal party. We both already knew exactly who we were going to ask, and we had no issues with each other's choices, at least at the beginning. My fiance recently found out that I used to date my best man, who's a 26-year-old man, and is furious. I never told her he was my ex and that I had not only invited him, but also wanted him in the bridal party. The thing is, I never purposefully hid the fact that we used to date from her. I just genuinely forgot.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
We had been friends for years, and we got on so well, we decided to give it a try, and it just wasn't meant to be. We were together for less than a month, and it wasn't really that different from how we were being friends, except we made out and had sex sometimes. It was like the same. I have to actively be reminded of it, and as it's not something I think about. When I look at him, I don't see an ex. I see my best friend of over 10 years. He was my friend for years before we dated and years after. I don't think it classes him as an ex, and I don't think it should mean he's excluded from my wedding. But my fiance is adamant that it's disrespectful to her, that it's her wedding, so she should get a say. I don't want to exclude him, but if I knew she would react like this, I might have just invited him as a guest. So am I the asshole? Edit to add, because I've had this question pop up a few times. Me and my best friend were 16, 15 when we dated. Okay, I think I've caused some confusion by using the word forgot.
Yeah.
It's not like it completely left my mind.
Yeah.
It's just something I don't think about or crosses my mind without being reminded about it. And when I was reminded about it, I didn't see it as that significant. I now see that even if I didn't see it as significant, I should have still told my girlfriend. So yeah, like a handful of times a year, it would be brought up as a joke by friends while I'm out with them, but that's really it. Okay. Yeah, I forgot.
I forgot we had sex
No,
sometimes.
but there's people in my life that I have hooked up with for like we tried it for like a couple weeks, and I don't think about them. Like, it was so long ago that I don't
Same.
think that doesn't even cross my mind.
For context, it was
20 years.
it was 10 years
10
prior.
years.
It was 10 years.
10
It's
years.
still a long time.
That's still a long time, and they were in high school. Like, yeah, I that changes my perspective a little bit. I do think it's strange that it wasn't brought up at any point.
It sounds like they were friends, so 15 or 16, if he's 27.
Yes.
So like they started dating very early on, like a couple years into their friendship. And then that's a lot of years after that things have stayed like kosher,
Right.
I'd say. But best man, I can understand why the bride-to-be would be like, this guy that you hooked up with, that you're making your best man. Like, it might make them a little uncomfortable without knowing every single detail. Like, I have a guy friend from high school. We were best friends, and we dated for a month, and it just didn't work.
Yeah.
And we're both like in our own lives. Like, I would invite him to my wedding, but not. I mean, obviously we weren't like close still, but I just don't see that as. Like, I don't know, but 10 years of friendship is a long time.
It's a long time.
And it sounds like this is his best friend.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, oh, that person that I dated and whatever, but like, this is like his best friend.
In less than a month.
The issue is that she didn't know about this at all.
Yeah, it's important to, like, when there are people in your life that you had a history with and you're with a partner, like, your partner should know, they should have context.
Yeah.
So we have some comments here.
Okay.
You're the asshole. You don't forget about a romantic relationship with your best friend of 10 years. If it was a one-night stand with a stranger, sure, I can see that slipping the mind. Your fiance isn't buying your excuse, and neither are we. Someone else said, you're the asshole for not disclosing that you have a romantic history with your best friend. Had you been honest from the get-go, this likely would not have been a problem. From her perspective, you've lied by omission for years, and she's finding out only shortly before your wedding. Someone else said...
I just want to say there's 10 years of memories in between that. 10 years of things fights, exes, other things, other relationships, other friendships. 10 years. That's so long.
Last person said, still the fact that you never thought to tell her until now is probably shady to her.
Yeah.
Why keep it a secret if it isn't a big deal? OP responded, it genuinely just never crossed my mind. It's never come up while she's been around. The most it's brought up is as a joke between me and my best friend when we are alone, and I forgot about it by the time I get home. I never meant to keep it a secret from her, but I still should have set a reminder when it came up with my friend to tell her. I admit I f***ed up here.
It's
weird that it's a joke. I think it's weird that it's a joke between the two of them that they talk about.
Because it sounds like it was experimentation.
So, because if you look at the time span, they've been friends for 10 years. So they were friends around 6 years when he started dating his fiance. So it's not quite as long of history, but like it is. I think it's really weird. Like friends know, they're joking about it, and so I think it's really weird that it slipped his mind to tell her, and that he needed to set a reminder to tell her next time that a joke about it happened.
Also, how did she figure it out? He told her?
Let's see. He just says my fiance recently found out that I used to date my best friend.
That sounds like he didn't
and
tell
is
her.
furious. I guess is another element here that early on in their dating, because they've been dating for 4 years, so he was 23 when he started dating her. Is there an element of maybe he was afraid to tell her that?
Of course.
Yeah. And so after a couple of years, then it's like, oh.
Yeah, so you think he's in denial?
No, I don't think he's in denial. I think early on in the relationship, he was afraid to be like, oh, and by the way, I hooked up with, I dated my best friend. Yeah. In the comments, OP identifies as bisexual, and she has always known that from the start. So never mind. Like, I didn't know if maybe he was hiding that. But no. So she knew. That's tough. Yeah, I don't know what they do at this point.
No updates? No updates. Yeah. I think you disclose all past relationships, especially if those people are still in your life. Mm-hmm. Especially if you're going to marry that person. I mean, I feel very strongly that you should, if you guys are willing to marry each other, all these kinds of conversations need to have already been had. Yeah. Just like you guys need to already have had those conversations.
Yeah. Anything that should have been under contention. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
But friendship is, yeah.
That's tough. That's really tough. All right, we'll move it on.
Ball right.
This is a 27-year-old man dating a 24-year-old woman that still sleeps with her ex. This comes from our relationship advice. I'm dating a girl and we have had sex multiple times. We have been dating for 1 month now, and a few days ago she said she wants to try dating without sex just so she can see how the chemistry is between us, and I complied. She seems like an honest gal. She wants to meet other people, and that's normal. So yesterday, I was FaceTiming her and found out that she still sees her ex and has sex with him. I don't know how many times because I just didn't care to ask. I also don't have any feelings for her because of the length of the relationship. But this got me thinking afterwards, maybe I'm a rebound? They broke up 9 months ago, and she told me she had sex with 10 guys during this period, including me. I mean, this is a red flag, right? I don't want her to be her rebound on her, or her safety net, or her emotional tampon. I was thinking maybe I should just ghost her and meet a new gal.
Huh? It was like
right.
There was one thing he said that like dipped the toe into weird, and
1-2
then just
punch.
a dive.
Yeah, that's the end of the story.
I have an opinion.
Okay. Yeah.
It seems weird. Okay, so if I am exploring the reality that he's saying some weird shit, but she might be being dishonest, where she's dating this guy, she's sleeping with her ex, doesn't want to have sex with this current guy to see if the emotions are there. Maybe she's sleeping with her ex still, and he's like, don't have sex with other people. I don't know. My brain went down a weird path. But also, did you hear him say, I don't have feelings for her?
Yeah, I heard
that's
that.
Weird.
After 1 month in. And the other thing is, he's 37 and she's 24.
No, they're 27 and 24.
27 and 24.
Yeah, that's huge.
I was
I do think, look, if you're dating someone for a month and they're like, oh, I'm still sleeping with my ex, it's like, this probably is not like gonna go anywhere.
No.
But you have to accept that. But that doesn't, so it sounds like if he doesn't want to be a rebound, he doesn't want to be just a side thing, like then yeah, he should move on. Right? Like,
yeah,
I mean,
100%.
yeah, it sounds like, yes,
Yeah.
you are exactly what you think you are.
It's been a month. It's not even worth a Reddit post, dude.
You don't have feelings for her. What are you?
Just move
and
on.
You're not having sex with her, so.
Don't make Reddit your emotional tampon.
Some comments here. She wants her ex's cock and you for the boyfriend stuff. Those red flags aren't a circus, dude.
Oh, God, I hate Reddit so much.
Yeah, that's awful.
Oh, God, this is how they talk to each other on there.
I wish I could, like, Scooby-Doo these people. You know what I mean?
Like, take the mask
Take that mask off. You're not anonymous anymore, bitch.
Someone said, you're in a friends with benefits relationship without the benefits. You're just a friend, but one that has to treat her like a girlfriend. Okay, we don't know the details of like what they are doing. We just know like that they're going on dates.
Also, he agreed to this.
Look, right. I mean, those comments are, I mean, look.
It sounds very complicated and not worth anybody's time after a month of dating.
I think ultimately the answer is like, yeah, don't go to Reddit, just leave.
Yeah.
We have some updates here. What? One of you throws up. I'm just gonna end this. Just gonna tell her this was not what I had in mind when we met. Good luck. I was never really into her anyways, and I'm already talking to another chick.
Liar.
I've used rubber, but I'm gonna check myself before I'm meeting someone new just to be sure.
You should do that anyway, my guy.
Sure, do that anyway.
She just said she does not have any feelings for her ex, blah, blah, blah. I replied with, if you have sex with your ex, then there is a spark between you two. That's fine by me, but that's a red flag for me, and I have to back away. Good luck. Okay. And then the last update. Got a lot of messages asking for another update, so here it is. This gal called me and was very upset, saying she still liked me and did not want to end things between us. She said she really is over her ex and she will stop having any form of contact with him. I said it does not matter, I'm just not going to risk it. I have to prioritize myself first and I can't risk going any deeper into this situationship. Thank you for all your answers.
Oh God. Like, okay, I think he's like kind of self-soothing with like, I didn't even like her anyways. I'm actually talking to somebody else. But like, I think it's almost like an everyone sucks here situation because she's doing what she did to her ex by saying, wait, no, please. Like, so she needs to go work on herself too. Like they are both floating in space and they just bumped into each other a couple times. They need to keep floating in space.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's like, this does not need all this complication.
No, and Reddit, dude, did not need to get involved.
So I don't like the verbiage he used.
Yeah, there's a lot
Any
of
of it.
weird
Yeah,
verbiage.
someone
He's clearly
commented-
on Reddit a lot.
Yeah.
Someone commented, I was going to say you seem like a cool dude and should just gracefully leave, but then that ridiculous edit. I didn't like her anyways and I'm already f***ing someone new. For fuck's sake, you're 27, not 17. Act accordingly. Woo. Yeah, I agree with that. It's a whole lot. It's just a whole lot going on. All right. This show is brought to you by Mint Mobile. Signing on to a wireless provider can be a lot. A lot of these big wireless providers are very expensive and they just keep adding up. A bunch of unexpected fees and overages and insane bills that just get worse and worse. You start to wonder, is there any way to save? Well, there is with Mint Mobile. You can be paying $15 a month to get unlimited text, talk, and data. They're sending me a SIM card so I can start my own plan, and you can do the same. And you get to keep your own phone, your own number, and your existing contacts, and they'll send you the plan to your door for free. Think about all that money that you could have in your wallet all the time. All the things you could buy with that money. I mean, it's the sky's the limit. It's a lot of money. Let's be honest. Think about it. $15 a month versus what you're doing. Do the math, because I can't. So start paying $15 a month now with Mint Mobile by going to mintmobile.com/pitreddit. That's mintmobile.com/pitreddit, and you can start paying $15 a month for a great mobile plan. This show is brought to you by Liquid IV. I read a lot of Reddit stories here, and I can get dehydrated. And something that helps me is Liquid IV, America's #1 powdered hydration formula, and now it's sugar-free, so it's even better and healthier. It has 8 different nutrients and vitamins and 3 times the amount of electrolytes than leading sports drinks. 1 stick of Liquid IV and 16 ounces of water can hydrate you twice as fast as water alone. So it's supercharged. It's making you feel great, and it tastes great. My personal favorite flavor is lemon lime. Love the refreshingness, the zestiness, love it. My favorite part also of Liquid IV is that they partner with foundations around the world to help provide and protect water and futures for tons of communities, and have donated 39+ million servings to 50 countries around the world. So if you want to grab Liquid IV, you can go to Costco and buy it in bulk nationwide, or if you want to save 20%, go to liquidiv.com and use code PITREDDIT at checkout. That's liquidiv.com. Using promo code PITREDDIT to save 20%. All right, back to the show.
Before this next story, It does deal with like red flag behavior that is like a little like coercive, but it is a revenge story. So like we chose it because we think the revenge is worth the thing.
Great.
But if you guys don't want to hear something like that right now, like safe space, you can tell me, we can skip it.
Let's ride.
I'm okay.
Okay,
Great. All right. How I got back at a pushy guy on a bad first date. This comes from Petty Revenge. So
I don't like
buckle up.
pettiness, I'm going to tell you right now.
You don't like pettiness?
No.
Right now.
Okay.
No.
Don't like it.
Well, you're about to witness it.
I think so.
When I was 18 years old, 10 years ago, I was doing the online dating thing. I live in the US and I'm about 15 minutes from the Canadian border. My date and I went to Canada together on a first date because I couldn't drink in the US but could in Canada. We wanted to go to a bar/casino. He picked me up in his little sports car and we rode together through the border crossing and to the casino. We played some games and had some drinks, and we're having a decent time. I got to a point where I was decently drunk and knew if I had any more alcohol, I would be out of commission. I told my date I was done drinking and wanted to start heading home. Instead of listening to me, he went and got us both another round of drinks, and he handed me a big Long Island iced tea.
Oh.
I told him point blank I couldn't drink it because I was at my limit. He didn't take too kindly to that and got pushy. He told me, "You have to drink it. I bought it for you. If you don't drink it, you're gonna make me waste money." No matter how many times I told him no, he continued to push me on this. I got very frustrated and upset because I was alone with this pushy man in another country, and I was very upset with myself for getting into this situation. We argued for a while, and eventually I snapped and formulated a little plan. He agreed to take me home after I finished the drink. I took the drink from him and chugged it. We got into his car and started for the border.
Also, hell yeah. She said, I took the drink and I chugged it.
It's important to note that this guy was very proud of his car. He spent the whole drive to the border telling me about all the features of how much he loved it. I spent the whole drive ignoring him and focusing on keeping my sick stomach under control. My goal was to make it through the border crossing at least, which was proving pretty difficult. We did eventually make it through the border crossing, and as soon as we made it back to the US, I turned in my seat to look him in the eyes and told him, "I didn't appreciate how you forced alcohol down my throat after I repeatedly told you no. I know my limits and you ignored and disrespected me. I said I couldn't drink more for a reason." Then, while maintaining direct eye contact with him, I started vomiting in his car. I knew this was coming and specifically oriented myself to cause as much damage as possible. I threw up on the seat, the floor, the dash, etc. He was freaking out, and I just started crying and telling him this was his fault, and he could either take me home or let me out of the car now, but I will call the police if he doesn't proceed with one of the two options. He dropped me off at home, and I never saw him again. Whoa.
Wow.
I love it.
She pulled an Exorcist.
I said I didn't like petty. I like petty.
That's
not
my
petty. You did this.
Yeah.
Now this is the consequences of your actions.
Yeah.
My stomach cannot take this. I know my own limits.
Oh my gosh.
This is what's happening.
That's crazy to make eye contact.
That's incredible. At 18?
Yeah.
Wait, I want to do it.
Dude, I hope
You did this.
I hope her bravery has gotten her really far in life because, first of all, if that was my daughter, that is so dangerous to go on a first date with someone from a dating app to another country, to a casino,
100%.
to drink where you're typically in your own home, underage. Like, so many things could have gone wrong.
Yeah.
And that person that guy who's driving in control of the situation.
Yep.
Agreed to take the drink. Like, I'm like, wow, she has the biggest balls, I bet. Like, the fact that she drank that and was like,
And chugged
I'm
it.
gonna get this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And screw
And it sounds like
him.
it wasn't just like, no, I don't want it. Oh, you have to drink it. No, I don't want it. It sounds like it was like continuous. Like, I really can't drink this.
And who knows what his plans were had she not done that. That's what I'm saying. Like, could have gone very wrong. I hope she's good and safe and happy, but like, oh my God.
Some comments here. That guy tried to play a bad drinking game and he lost. Someone else said, "I'm laughing, wondering how coherent your statement actually came out."
That's good.
You want me to do this and now it's gonna happen. OP responded to that saying, "Lord knows it probably came out more like, you disrespect me, bah." I like to think he got the message regardless. Eye contact while vomiting is a grade A power move. I don't think I've ever kept my eyes open while puking. Yeah, she's an X-Men.
Yeah,
she's
she is an X-Men.
awesome. She's kind of kick ass.
Yeah.
Like just vomit pooling.
Right, he has to
around
drive
at
all the
every
way home with all that
turn.
vomit.
Yeah, oh my God. He's
That's
probably terrified
wild.
of her. He's
Yeah.
probably like,
I have
if
to
this
drop her
is
off at
her
home.
revenge for this,
Yeah.
I gotta
And I
be
hope
so nice
he
now.
never did that again.
That's true. That's true. So you mentioned like at 18, she was like this. OP said, I was very self-destructive when I was a teenager, and I regularly put myself in dangerous situations. I had a lot of trauma and issues, but now as an adult, I feel I've worked through them and act much more responsibly. I definitely look back at this story and cringe at how stupid I was to get in that situation in the first place. Yeah, I mean, you're 18.
18, yeah. Oh my gosh, the things I did, like I've done very similar to that before.
I was a good Christian boy at 18.
Okay, moving on. Am I the asshole for telling a friend I did not want her to join my date and I for dinner? Okay. This is a 26-year-old woman. I have a friend, a 25-year-old woman who I met in college, and although losing touch for a bit after college, I moved to the same town as her 6 months ago for work, and we've hung out quite a bit since then. I have kind of integrated into her friend group, 5 other girls not including us. Although I'm not as close with them as they are with each other, which makes sense seeing as how they've known each other a bit longer. I was recently on a first date with a woman that I've liked for a bit, a 27-year-old woman. We were having coffee at a cafe, and all of a sudden, my friend walks up to us to say hi. Not a big deal. I know she comes here a lot, and I introduce them. My friend is super nice to my date. At this point, I hadn't told my friend this was a date. She knows I've dated women in the past, but I wasn't expecting her to realize this was a date because it could very well have just been a friend. Then she asks if she can join us and starts to pull up a chair. My date is visibly thrown off by this, as am I, and so I say, oh, I'm sorry, but date's name and I are on a date right now. I'll see you later, though. My friend says, oh, I don't mind, and sits.
What the hell?
I reiterate more clearly, I'd love to hang out another time, but right now I'd like for it to just be date's name and I. She says okay and leaves. I thought it was the end of it. Not a big deal at all. I don't expect her to automatically know who I am or am not on a date with. I get a call from a different girl in the friend group that night who told me that my friend called her and was pissed off about it earlier. So I immediately called my friend and asked if we could talk. She says it was rude of me to brush her off. It wouldn't have been a big deal to join us, and her other gay friend lets her hang out with him and his boyfriend all the time. This friend is not a part of the friend group. I have never met him. This gets to me a little because I feel like the two situations are only being compared because her friend and I are both not straight. I tell her that because it was a date, it's different than, and that she can't expect to join me on a first date. She keeps arguing, and finally I get fed up and snap at her. Be f***ing honest. If I was on a date with a guy, you would have taken no for an answer and not had a problem, and then hang up. She has not talked to me since then, but she told the entire friend group, and they are now split. I know this because the friend who first told me that she was pissed off as well as one other girl messaged me individually to let me know what was going on and that they're sorry about what happened. The messages from the people on my friend's, maybe former friend, I don't know, side, are making me second guess myself. I do get that I snapped at her on the phone and was rude at the end of our conversation. I don't think I'm wrong for not wanting her to join us, but am I the asshole for the way I behaved at the end of our convo? Yeah, I'm just kind of it is
Flabbergasted.
I'm a little flabbergasted by like, oh, you're on a date? Oh, don't worry about it. I'm cool.
Yeah, what?
Hey.
And then to be angry when someone is like, no, you can't join us.
Yeah.
First date too, like
It honestly doesn't matter. You should be able, like, if we were going to coffee, I should be able, like, oh no, we actually are just, it's just us two.
Yeah,
right now.
I'm catching up with a friend right now.
We're doing our own thing.
I just would never. I'm flabbergasted by this friend's psyche in general because I would never, if I bump into two people hanging out, I'm not immediately just like, hey, can I join you? Like I'd talk unless they invite me to join them. I'm like, oh, I stumbled upon you
100%.
guys doing a thing.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
yeah, and it's difficult too because like there might be some truth to like a dynamic shift if she were on a date with a man, but like as soon as you like bring up like levels of like tones of homophobia in a friend group, that will like fully rip things to
Fight
shreds.
or
And like
flight,
whether that person felt that way or not, that friend is gonna be like, oh my God, I can't believe you're accusing me of that.
Yeah.
But if that's what she felt, you know, it's just tough. Like it's tough when it gets, that's when it gets real. That's when it gets real serious.
Yeah, I have never felt minimized. I feel like people are very much like, come up to it, leave it. Like no one's ever like, can I join? Or like, this isn't anything. It's like, oh no, I'm gonna give you your space.
Yeah, if the word date is used, I'm like,
boom.
you got it.
Out of there, get out of there. Yeah.
I disappear like a cloud of smoke.
Yeah, straight up. I
And
don't wanna
sometimes I'll
fucking-
kind of, if I'm the person approaching and then I figure out they're on a date, I can figure out from my friend how long they want me to be there. I wouldn't be like, I definitely wouldn't pull up a chair unless the friend was like, pull up. I would never, ever pull up a chair unless the friend was like, pull up a chair. And that means to me, I want you to either vibe check this person with me for a minute or I need help from this date.
Right.
Help me from this date.
Literally.
But no, never, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like just any dynamic, any date, it sucks that the conversation got to a really tough place, to like a really serious place. But I do feel like the person who tried to join the date is just, I think, just a little bit unaware, because like you can't.
Yeah.
Like what does that mean?
Yeah.
Not the asshole. You were on a date and politely told her that she couldn't join you. No reasonable adult would expect to intrude on a first date and get offended when they were asked to leave. If she had a problem, it was entirely in her own head. Someone else said, corporate life lesson 101, a single person does not join a two-person conversation without a clear invite. This applies to business conferences, cocktail parties, and f***ing dates, not the asshole. It's literally so mind-blowing to me. There is an update, though. Okay, so the two girls who reached out to me and sided with me just let me know that in the last few hours, she's been saying stuff that pretty heavily implies that I'm not actually bisexual and I'm just straight.
Whoa.
So I guess that explains a lot of it. They obviously were not okay with it, as one of the girls is bisexual and has a boyfriend.
Ew.
They both left the group chat and still want to be friends with me.
Aww.
The other people in our group chat have said nothing to me, and honestly, I don't need the drama.
Silence says a lot.
It sucks to realize a friend of mine felt this way about me for years, but I'm glad I at least know what was up now. And OP in the comments says, to be fair, I don't really blame her for the first part of the story. It's totally fine to be oblivious, and I can also be super oblivious about stuff, but I'm glad to see the general consensus is that I wasn't wrong about her not being pissed about this had I been on a date with a guy. Thank you for the response. I appreciate it, and everyone's comments are making me feel a little bit more confident in my actions. Yeah,
what an update.
That's crazy. That really turned that woman into a weird person into an absolute
Yeah, I didn't
asshole.
want to assume the worst.
But now, let her
wow,
cook.
that is so gross, and like kind of been a fear of mine personally as someone who's queer. Like, I have a paranoia that people around me, my peers, my friends, or people that I love, like, might be like, she's straight. But because like I don't have a lot of experience in dating women or feminine people, so like, you don't want to think that that's real, and that sucks.
Yeah.
Also, just gonna go back, this person literally said, mind if I join?
Yeah, what?
Asking. You asked. She said no. It's dehumanizing too, knowing that context of like, you are doubting this person's sexuality, not even your business. And so what? You wanted to watch this display for yourself and see if it was legitimate? Now I'm taking it personally, as you can tell.
Right.
But yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry. I'm glad that those friends came to her support too, because and
Right.
the friends that are not saying anything
Right.
are saying a lot.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. This is on our dating advice. Don't think she realizes we've dated before.
Huh? Say it again?
Don't think she realizes we've dated before.
Oh, no.
That's rough.
I've had these people already, I'll say
Really?
this. Oh, yeah.
Oh goodness.
Okay. I've been on Hinge for 6 months and seen a couple of people, but nothing has happened for a while. This week, I, a 28-year-old man, noticed a girl I've dated before about 4 years ago, a 25-year-old woman, as new here and thought, nah, she won't match me back. But lo and behold, she did, and we've really hit it off. We messaged for a couple of days before she sent me her number to message. We've been up late at night between work, texting, and last night she even called me for an hour, and we had a good laugh. But I'm not sure if she realizes we dated before. She blocked me on Facebook and Instagram when we stopped seeing each other because we fell out. Our personalities didn't gel and she hated the fact I went out every weekend. But we've bonded more in the last few days than we ever did before, and I only go for a quiet drink every now and again now. The other night, she mentioned doing something on Facebook, but didn't ask me if I had Facebook myself, and sent me something off TikTok, which we had a laugh about. I know not everyone has social media these days, but a few days in, you'd think she'd have had a bit of a stalk or asked around social media.
Right.
She's suggested we go on a date next Friday because that's the soonest date she's free around work, uni, and prearranged plans, so I'm wondering how and when do I drop the bomb we've dated before. But I've also got to keep her interest for another 8 days, although that seems less concerning right now. I genuinely feel like we could work this time. Now we're both older and more mature, but I'm worried she'll spook. Or maybe she does know, but is also hesitant to bring it up.
How can she not know?
Yeah, like she has to go and be like, oh, I have him blocked on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely early on, in
Early
the
on.
messaging on the app,
Yeah.
I'd be like, wait, you don't remember me? Like, hey, we dated.
And the way
like,
the way you sell it, the way you play it is like, you know we've dated before, right? You remember that.
Yeah.
You really don't. Are you serious? Okay, I couldn't tell if you remembered or if you didn't remember.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me because I remember and I thought you were just like keeping. I thought we were just not going to talk about it.
Yeah, and you're thinking he could call her.
Oh, it's a phone call.
Yeah.
It's a phone call.
I think it's weird that he was like, I've got to keep her interest for 8 more days. Like
That's
weird.
that
So weird.
if you're gonna try and wait until you see her in person, that feels a little
I kinda
just
like it.
manipulative tone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like but I think for me, like if I was on her end and they called and were like, hey, like I'm excited for our date, but I just want to check, like, you know, we've dated before, right? And I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
And he'd be like, yeah, like we're both different people. I used to go out every weekend, and I would have been like, oh, like this is great. So it's like there's also a possibility that we have a chemistry that can work,
Right.
and that would make me even more comfortable, even more like ready to go on a date again.
One of the comments here, you should have brought it up on that first phone call. Now it seems weird that you didn't. I think you should bring it up now. Your best bet is to play it off like you didn't realize at first that you dated before either. Act like you just figured it out. You know, this is funny, but I just realized we actually went out before about 4 years ago. And just see how she reacts. Yeah, maybe she knows it too and won't spook, but if she does, it's better to find out now so you won't waste any more of your time. That's kind of how I feel, like these 8 days of keeping her interest might be a waste. OP responded, the first message I sent on Hinge started with, I hope you've been keeping well on purpose, but I'm not sure if she caught on. He also said, I also look and sound no different to how I did then and have really distinctive, brightly colored tattoos in my photos, which I had back then. So I don't know how she couldn't possibly
Right.
know. Wow, as someone said, wow, that's one way to break the ice. Good luck, buddy. Yeah, it is shocking that she's not. I think she knows.
But we don't know that she doesn't know.
Right.
We don't know that
So
she
we're
doesn't
about,
know.
but there is an update.
Hours ago.
From
3 hours?
3 hours ago?
It's fresh.
As of filming this?
You had already picked this.
It's still warm.
I think my update comment got lost in the sea of replies, but we texted till late again, and before we went to bed, I asked if I could call her, but made a point it wasn't because I planned on being clingy and making a habit of it. I came clean, and she wasn't bothered at all, just said she thought she'd seen me in passing on a night out. I explained what went wrong, and we addressed why things should work out better this time, and she seemed to agree. She even joked, could this not have been something that could have been said over text to make light of the situation, and then the quick phone call turned into an hour again. Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
I knew
I like
it.
it. Did I hear open and honest communication?
Finally.
Did I hear radical honesty?
Finally.
I love it. I love it. See, it makes me feel more comfortable
Yeah.
when I know that I know you.
Yeah.
Right. So, Chance, you said you've experienced this? Did you say that?
Yeah, I have experienced
Oh,
this.
God, yeah.
With people who are like, and I was on the other end of it. I didn't remember. And it was like, yeah, it was less dating, but it was like, yeah, we've slept together. We've gone home together. I'm like, oh. Yeah, we did. And how was that?
Cool.
But I'm not weirded out by it. They're like, yeah, I knew, and I wasn't weirded out by it. I'm like, oh, okay, great. Now we're here. We're here now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a different person. You're a different person. We've learned. We've grown.
I love it.
Funny. All right.
I did have one. I had one guy that I had slept with, and then I started dating this other guy. Messy. I started dating this other guy, and then the guy I'm dating brings this guy around, and he's like, "This is my friend," and I don't remember that I've slept with his friend, but his friend knows apparently. And then the guy I'm dating starts cheating on me with the guy that I've slept with, and then they go off together, and I'm like, "Who the f is this guy?" So I like look him up his thing, and then I'm like, "Oh, I remember these pictures. I've slept with you actually."
Oh no.
Wow.
Triangle?
There you go.
So I lost. Actually, they just broke up a couple weeks ago.
Oh. Here we go. Last story. If someone had told me that downloading Tinder would lead to me drawing a man a bath and checking him for a hernia, I would have laughed.
What? Read that again.
If someone had told me that downloading Tinder would lead to me drawing a man a bath and checking him for a hernia, I would have laughed. This comes from Our Dating.
Okay.
Is this Benjamin Button?
Okay. Weirdest date ever.
Sorry.
What?
Sorry, I just said Benjamin Button really quick.
Weirdest date ever, that's all I can say. Not a first date, but still weird. He, a 44-year-old man, invited me, a 31-year-old woman, to meet him at a coffee shop because we both had work we needed to do. After a few hours, we stand up to leave, and he mentions that he injured himself earlier in the day. Wouldn't you know, he can't stand up and he can barely walk. Now, I'm not a petite woman. I'm 5'8". I work out. I can help. It's not like he's the mountain or anything, and he's built like a little jackrabbit. So I help him, not like the mountain or anything, and he's built like a little jackrabbit. So I help him up and help him to his car, but he's still struggling. I offered to make him dinner if he wanted to come over because I had been marinating some chicken anyway. He accepts, and we head back to my house. It's worth saying that I have a 3-floor townhouse with lots of steps. It's also worth saying that I have a tendency to be clumsy, and so I have all sorts of ace bandages, crutches, etc. in my house. I set him up on the couch, bring him water and a heating pad, a pillow to hold him for sneezing, coughing, crutches to help him stand without using whatever was injured, and start cooking dinner. Eventually he chimes in with, "I promise I'm not trying to show you my dick, but can you look at this?"
What though?
Wouldn't you know, there's a weird bump near his groin. So now what was a pulled muscle might actually be a hernia. I offer to take him somewhere, but he refuses. Instead, he asked me to wrap a compression wrap around the bump.
What?
Eventually, I asked him if a warm bath would make him feel better, and he says that it might. Trouble is, he can't really go from sitting to standing all too well, so I drew him a bath and sat there the whole time. I jokingly throw in a colorful, sparkling bath bomb and bring him a glass of wine because of the sheer absurdity of the situation. I'm sitting here, bathing a grown man, one I met off Tinder. I felt his groin for a hernia. I compression wrapped said groin. This man has absolutely tested the limits of my domesticity.
Yeah.
And I actually didn't mind. We've been seeing one another since December, and I'm kind of in love with him. Edit.
Whoa.
He got checked out. The lump was from the swelling of a torn muscle. Still not good, but not as bad as a hernia. Okay, so it wasn't a hernia. Thank God. I don't know what to say about that one.
What in the world?
Okay.
At least she
Happy
found
for
love. Yeah.
She did the most.
She found love in a broken ass.
She found love.
Someone commented, "I already have Tinder, and now I just need to lift the heaviest of weights without proper form, and I'll be on my way to find a wife." Someone else said, "Awesome story. I hope you two kids make it to the finish line." OP responded, "That would be nice if we did, but either way, he's already enriched my life, and I'm thankful for whatever time we have together." Wow, that's so sweet.
That's really funny.
So who's the asshole?
Yeah, was one of them the asshole? Someone else said, "If he doesn't wife you, I will rage."
She really did
really
the
did,
most.
yeah.
And then more. She
Yeah.
drew him. She was like, "Shall I draw you a bath?"
Yeah, that's who you want to get old with right there.
Yeah.
This
Glitter
this post was from last year, and in a more recent post, OP responded, "I used Tinder and met my partner of 2 years, so they're still together."
Aww.
Well,
A guy I met off Tinder one time, we were talking and he asked me to cut his hair because I cut hair. And I was like, this was the first date. First date, he asked me to cut his hair. So I go over and I cut his hair. Was really weird. And then I was like, okay, you got to clean up the hair because I don't want to clean up your hair. And I was like, just don't flush it down the toilet because it'll clog.
Yeah.
This bitch flushed it down the toilet. So now he's got, and he was like shouting in the bathroom. He's like, I clogged the toilet. And I was like, bro, I literally told you not to put it down the toilet.
So funny.
He didn't listen.
That's the red flag.
And then I had my friend call me and be like, can you please come pick me up? Yeah, I'm coming. I'm so sorry. I gotta take
I gotta go.
I gotta go.
Well, these have been all over the place, but we ended on a sweet note, so that's nice.
Yeah.
Thank you both for being here.
Thanks for
Of
having
course.
us.
Usually, boy. Who's driving this bus?
And thank you all for watching. As always, let us know in the comments what types of themes or subreddits you want us to cover, and let us know your thoughts on these stories. And we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.